660 WAPT News at 10 starts now.
Tornado damage in South Mississippi as a twister hits small towns and the campus at USM, flooding in the metro.
Because it's going to go in my car.
And residents are still dealing with the damage. Mardi Gras in New Orleans. What police know about the gunman who wounded 4 people in the French Quarter.
Now, your weather first.
Oh my God.
Cell phone video of the tornado that hit Hattiesburg right around 5 o'clock, and there were pictures everywhere. That's the day and time we live in. Social media, a wedge tornado, similar to what the Yazoo County tornado looked like a few years back. Probably not quite as strong. Right, the live storm showed 16 Doppler radar. We have a small weakening cell with thunder and lightning and maybe even a little hail moving across southern Madison County. That storm is weakening. Down in South Mississippi, still have some thunderstorms moving through Hattiesburg and heavy downpours affecting our southern counties. I think this will continue for the rest of the night, although the severe threat much lower. Full forecast, still a couple wet days ahead coming up.
David, of course, that big story of the night, that massive tornado that rolled through South Mississippi and right through Hattiesburg.
That is a tornado. Holy
yeah, that'll rattle your stage. The video is amazing. Everyone seemed to get out their cell phones and cameras for this big storm. It was easy to spot because it was so wide, so big. You know, David, this was our worst fear today. We kept telling viewers, this is why we can't show the basketball game. This kind of thing could happen.
That's right. We had, you know, in the Jackson area, we had a bunch of rain. We had 2 to 4 inches of rain, and we were just afraid that some of those cells in the southern part of the viewing area could produce a tornado. I'm estimating that tornado based on the pictures and the damage as an EF3, probably low end, maybe 136 to 150 miles per hour. Looks like we had 2 tornadoes today. The one that went through Hattiesburg formed in Walthall County near the Louisiana line, tracked across Marion County, so pretty much out of our viewing area. And then we had a short, weaker tornado move across eastern Lawrence County. There was some light damage near the Arm community. Other than that, heavy rain was the story, and there's more heavy rain in my forecast. It's all coming up.
All right, David. You know, the folks in Hattiesburg still reeling from this massive tornado. The campus at USM suffered some damage. The good break here is that most of those students were away from campus because they had Monday and Tuesday off for Mardi Gras. But it rattled the cage of those people who were on campus.
You know, actually witnessing from my house right up the street, I watched it roll right through here. And these trees, I mean, the biggest thing is that they're 150-year-old, 200-year-old trees. And if you realize what they've been through with all the storms we've had and all that, and now they're gone.
We're inevitably going to have to reschedule some space. We were, again, very fortunate that we don't have classes Monday and Tuesday, so we should have plenty of time. The area affected, relatively speaking, is a small area, so we should be able to get it secured and cleaned up and operating.
Still gathering information on this incredible storm that hit earlier today. 16 WAPT's Aaron Kelly live tonight from USM's campus in Hattiesburg with a look at the damage tonight. Good evening, Aaron.
To give you an idea of where we are, this is where Highway 49 is in this direction. Over here, this is Hardy Street. Has been shut down most of the evening. A lot of damage there. And behind me here, this you see along that house. Across campus. The Vice President of Student Affairs again says the campus was fortunate that most of the students were not here. They were on that 4-day vacation from Mardi Gras. They say that they have no injuries. They did not lose power, but there are a number of trees that are down across campus. Some of them 150 years old, 200 years old. They tell us 6 academic buildings were damaged in the storm. They will be back out here surveying the damage. There will be no classes on Monday or Tuesday. Again, that was because of that vacation that was planned. So they're just thankful that no students, no faculty members, no one on campus was hurt, but clearly a lot of damage to address here tomorrow. Live in Hattiesburg, Aaron Kelly, 16 WAPT News.
Thanks a lot, Aaron. It's an incredible video. Of course, we're having some audio problems with Aaron's microphone, but the gist of it, the campus took a pretty good lick. A lot of tree damage. That building took a pretty good lick, but apparently because no students were on campus, or not many at all, there doesn't appear to be any major injuries. We're still gathering information. We're going to keep bringing it to you as we get it throughout the night. You know, the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency is reporting more than a dozen injuries so far from the tornadoes that blew across the southern part of the state. MEMA officials say 3 people were injured in Marion County. Between 10 and 15 people injured over in Forest County. All of the injuries are in Marion County, we're told, though. MEMA says that number could be higher because emergency responders are blocked from many areas because of all the debris out there. Emergency equipment is en route to Hattiesburg as we speak. Here's a look at some of the damage left in that city area. A lot of work going on. The Macomb Fire Department has also sent a 6-person search and rescue team to South Mississippi as we speak to help with the recovery efforts going on there now. Governor Phil Bryant declaring a state of emergency tonight. It is in 4 Mississippi counties right now. We're talking about Forest, Lamar, Lawrence, and Marion. But any additional counties with damage because of severe weather will also be covered by this state of emergency. This basically clears the way for the state to go in and offer support in those county areas impacted by this incredible weather event. The Salvation Army rolling out at daybreak tomorrow, headed for the Hattiesburg area. The Salvation Army's mobile feeding units from Jackson and Biloxi will deploy to support disaster response in Hattiesburg following that big tornado. Each unit, we're told, will serve lunch and dinner for several days to the families there impacted by that storm. Widespread flooding back here in Jackson today when this massive rainmaker moved through our area. Wow, the water came up so fast on this street right off of Highway 18 in South Jackson that the driver had to climb to the roof of her car. At one point, water was up to the car windows on that road. The driver finally jumped to the ground and waded to higher ground. And all that heavy rain swamped streets in the Presidential Hills neighborhood. And it's not the first time it's happened over there. The city has said the flooding is due to leaves and other debris piled up in the drains there. Neighbors have complained the city isn't doing anything to fix it. It meant some residents couldn't actually back their cars out of their driveways.
It's going to go in my car. I have to miss work a couple days. A couple times I'll miss work because water go in the car.
Yeah, neighbors say the problem comes from a ditch behind the homes on this street. The city says it has come out to clear debris in the past few weeks and will be sending people out again to check it out. But it's still not clear what the long-term plan is to keep the street from flooding every time we see heavy rain. An unusual sight on Frontage Road in Jackson when police say a covered wagon crashed. It happened on Frontage Road near the Elton Road exit this afternoon. Parts of a damaged trailer were hauled away. 2 donkeys were tied to a tree as crews worked on the scene. Good news, though. Police say no one was injured. Still not clear what caused the crash. The storm knocked out power to almost 1,500 Entergy customers in Mississippi today. More than 1,000 are right here in Hinds County. Crews were out working tonight. We're told, the latest count at least, that number is now down to about 245. Hey, just in case you didn't know, to get up-to-the-minute severe weather coverage on your phone, you can download the 16 WAPT Tornado app. All you got to do is search WAPT in the App Store and download the free app. You can get alerts right there on your cell phone when the weather gets real bad. Right now, the fairgrounds is packed with cowboys and cowgirls from all across the country and spectators that have been checking out the events of the Dixie National Rodeo Parade, or the rodeo event, I should say. As 16 WAPT's Andrew Kinsey reports, officials say this rain is having an impact there.
Rodeo officials tell me they are closely monitoring the weather situation. They say there is a chance that it may impact the turnout they see here.
It's the biggest event the fairgrounds host all year, the Dixie National Livestock Show and Rodeo.
It's a good rodeo. It's one of the top paying rodeos of the winter.
Already, officials say they've seen more than 27,000 people pass through, but that was before the rain.
This rain is a little nasty right now.
Rodeo officials say the rain that started falling in the metro Sunday afternoon could make things a bit messy for the cowboys and cowgirls with mud and standing rain near stalls. But they also say it may lead to a boost in ticket sales.
It might entice some people come inside, to see the show.
Billy Orr says most of the areas used for events are covered, which is why he hopes people will continue to turn out.
Does the weather have an impact on how the horses perform?
Oh, yeah, they get a little frisky when it gets cold. Real frisky on some of them. They might buck a little bit, run a little harder.
Melanie Bruce says during weather like this, she and other competitors have to work extra hard to keep their horses dry and mud-free. If not, she says it could hurt their chances of winning.
Some don't like the rain, some do.
Officials say all the events will continue as scheduled. The next rodeo here inside the Coliseum is set for 7:30 Monday night at the fairgrounds. Andrew Kinsey, 16 WAPT News.
Well, before things kicked off today at the rodeo, the cowboys and cowgirls were given a free pancake breakfast. The event was sponsored by the Mississippi Baptist Association and Morrison Heights. Organizers say they simply wanted to let everyone know that, well, somebody cares about them.
It is a tradition with all of the big rodeos in the West, from Calgary to San Antonio to Houston. So we're trying to get Jackson to know that we got rodeo.
Yeah, I love the scarf. Hey, this was the 7th year for this free event. Malik Newman, he's considered one of the top high school basketball players in the nation. Sports anchor Ray Coleman joins us now to give us an inside look at this 15-year-old phenom. Ray?
Yeah, Scott, any college in the state or the country for that matter would love to have Malik Newman choose their school in the near future. Tonight, we go all access with number 14 and the Callaway Chargers.
It's 5 a.m. and Malik Newman is about to start his day. This is a normal routine for one of the top high school basketball players in the nation. Even before his team started having regular morning practices, his natural ability is rare for a 15-year-old. And his father said that came long before the early mornings as well.
Probably when he was about 6 years old, I knew he was better than everybody else around the circle, around the neighborhood. You know, I knew that he could be special because he was doing things that, you know, a little kid normally wouldn't do, you know.
Along with one of his teammates, Jarvis Williams, who stayed the night before, Newman drives just 1 mile to Callaway High School. Practice begins promptly at 5:50. This is where Malik Newman hones his skills. Those skills have helped him earn a state championship and have many recruiting sites listing him as the #1 sophomore in the nation.
It matters, but at the same time, it doesn't. You know, it matters because now that I'm here, I want to stay there. But at the same time, it's just a ranking, so, you know, I can fall in today, but I choose not to, so I just put in the work to try to stay there.
Practices are always intense with the Chargers, and no one gets star treatment, especially number 14.
Malik is a kid because he's a leader, and because we expect him to score and carry a load for us, we stay on him a little bit harder than the other kids.
Finish on the first one. Got to finish the first one. Right there, trace that, Malik. Trace that.
Just because if you can stay on your top guy, if your top guy will respond to you and respond to the criticism, then the other kids will just fall in line.
We cannot win the state if we're not getting these games this week, if we're not getting better. We're getting worse, we're in trouble. So you got to come out and play with some energy and some passion to get better this week.
Next stop, their next day matchup versus JPS rival, Lanier.
Charge on 3. 1, 2, 3, charge!
All right, now make sure you stick around for the Sportscast where we continue our all-access coverage of Malik and the Chargers. Day 2, as you saw, takes us inside game day with the defending 5A champs. Scott?
Looking forward to that. Thanks a lot, Ray. 4 people injured last night when shots rang out over in Bourbon Street in New Orleans. NOPD releasing this video shot by a bystander. They say it shows an argument break out in the crowded French Quarter, and then shots are fired. Wow, you can hear it. One man was shot 3 times. Another man and 2 women also suffered gunshot wounds. No arrests have been made.